Hello tacticians, it's Nox here, and we are going to continue where my last video left off, because we're going to have a quick look to make sure that all the assumptions I made in the last one were actually correct when it came to equipment, because a number of you have questioned what I've said. So I'm going to look into those now. But before I do, I want to say a massive thank you to Cuddlefish, Oseberg, Fantasy Darthward, Parsival, Snowflakes, Kenshin393, Playorder, Zephyrus, WJ Howburn, Doc, Carofingant, Azza, Marshall Mojo, and Player3156. All of you who have entered in my friend code, and I can't say how much I really appreciate you all doing so. So thank you very much. Let's now have a look at the equipment and how we can tell if our characters are maxed out for the rarity. Here we are on the screen, which says we're going to go into a ranked match, and I want you to look at Jane Zar here. Now, if you look carefully, you'll see that she's got this nice little shimmering pattern, as a lot of my characters do, and a little sheen goes across her. Let's compare that to Yarrick, Abaddon, and Morgan Ra, and you can see these guys don't have the same sheen that many of these do. And basically what that means is these three at the bottom are not maxed out, they're not the best that they can be for this rarity, but Jane Zar is. And this will obviously change as we change rarity. The order does change based on power level. Here you can still see the sheen around Jane Zar because she is maxed. If we go to Jane Zar and we replace her shuriken pistol with an epic one, which has got to 7 of the 9 upgrades, and then go back into ranked, you'll see that sheen around her has disappeared. If we now forge to upgrade, we're now 8 out of 9, and go back to the ranked, you'll see the sheen is still not there. And if we max out to be 9 out of 9, you'll see that sparkling sheen has indeed come back for the maxed out item. So it is this nice little glimmering sheen sort of overlay that you want to look out for when you're choosing your characters. And if they're not, it doesn't mean you can't use them, but it does mean they're not at the maximum potential they can be for that rarity. Now obviously we can't at the moment do epic and legendary, and to be honest I kind of hope we don't go there because of the way that the damage and armour scales. But we will see, maybe they will open up in time. So the characters I am using for this are here. Now this is the draft format with power-ups, which means only 3 will be chosen automatically for me and I get to choose the last 2. And depending whether I go first or second will mean I only get to choose 1 in the first turn if I go first, or 2 in the first turn if I go second. And if you do go first, you obviously get to choose your second character in your second turn. And these are the 7 I'm choosing. I've got Calendis, because quite frankly, Calendis is the best sniper for this mode. You can actually move, pick up a power-up, shoot, possibly kill someone, and sometimes even move to pick up a second power-up. It does depend on placement, but it's a very, very powerful ability to have. My second, and possibly my favourite character, is Sarquael. I'm going to get back to him in a little bit, because the competition I have is all about getting shards and equipment for him. I then have Shadowsun, whose ability to teleport anywhere you want on the battlefield, as long as it's next to a friendly unit, is absolutely brilliant, and if she gets power-ups, she is very powerful indeed. Then you've got the dynamic duo of Sharquel and Ray Vass. Keep these two together. Ray Vass's drones will also protect Sharquel as well as Shadowsun if she's close enough. And of course, Shadowsun's drone, when she teleports, will aid both of these two. Thaddeus is a very important inclusion because of his ability to put suppression on the enemy Ray Vass. And finally there's Ulf. There's always a time if you see the enemy is using a lot of summoners, Ulf is probably the best character to take in. Now I used to bring in Jane Zar and I really, really want to bring her in still, but at the moment she's going to be sitting on the bench. But she is a great character to use if you do have her. Her ability to having stealth and be able to wreak havoc to a number of characters in a row is amazing, especially if she has a power-up. Her weakness here is because of those power-ups, she can be very easily killed. So let's have a few reasons why I like Sarquael so much, and then we'll get to the competition. So this is at the very beginning of a match, and I've just brought in Sarquael to move up and grab the damage power-up. Obviously Ray Vass moves up and drops his drones, and the rest of the characters move up too. Now this is where my opponent makes his first mistake. He does bring in Thaddeus, which is great, There he is, bringing in Rayvas first. Good choice. Then he brings in Thaddeus. And now, instead of moving to where that clump grass is, directly north of my Rayvas, he tries to use the active ability, which only succeeds in suppressing Ulf there. Now, if he'd moved to that patch of grass, he could have just attacked normally to suppress my Rayvas, and this match could have gone in a completely different direction. He then moves Calendis up, and Sarquael just says, "Thank you very much, I'll take that kill." Moving his Rayvas up to protect those same two power-ups that I was guarding. And of course, Morgan Ra. Now, I am going to bring in my own Thaddeus here. But the important bit is I then choose Sarquael, move up to that power up, and I use his active ability and say goodbye to two of his characters in one shot. And then I use my Thaddeus to suppress his Rayvas, and really that was the end of the game. So here we are with me about to take my second turn, and they move their Athena up to hit my Shosil, and they finish him off with Calendis. Not sure about the places of Athena, but has got health power up and a high position, so maybe a good one. Thaddeus moves up and they take a couple of shots at Ulf. So I bring in Sarquael. And I move up and, well, let's just see what his active does. So kills off Thaddeus, got rid of all the shield on their Calendis and got rid of the drone. I then quite happily move Ulf up to kill off Calendis and, well, that was pretty much the game there. So, last showcase for Sarquael, and here I'm moving on to damage power-up. He really does, like Calendis, like those extra power-ups to do more damage. And I move Shadow Sun up to get the extra health again. She's someone who does like having extra health so she can dart where she's needed. And I put the targeting Seeker Missile on their Thaddeus. Now, I do something here which I don't normally do, which is use my barrage on their Calendis, because by restricting their movement to 2, can't get to that power-up, which means they're going to have to use Vindicta, Thaddeus, or someone else they bring in to pick up that power-up, which of course will mean, well, means my Shosil's safe and Sarquael's going to have a good shot at them. And they bring in two long-range characters, Shosil and Morgan Ra. Now, Morgan Ra picks up the power-up, which is fine, and takes a shot at Shadow Sun there, but she survives because of her extra health. Down goes Vindicta, and there's Sarquael's hit, taking off all the shields and most of her health. I bring in Ulf to, well, make short work of Thaddeus. Finish off Vindicta with Shosil. Now I've got this clump of enemies up here. I move Thaddeus up to put suppression on Morgan Ra, nearly killing him in the process. Now I could have done her reposition, but I didn't want her drone to be in the way. So I moved where she was. There's the active, killing the drone and Calendis. And then with his return fire, finishes the job. To enter the competition, all you need to do is leave a comment below regarding your favourite part of the game. Anything that you find particularly enjoyable. The winners will be chosen at random on my video, which will come out on the 20th. And the first place winner will get 50 Sarquael shards. Now, with the event that we've just had, this should hopefully be enough to unlock him if you haven't already got him, or maybe get him to the next tier up so that you can use him in the tournament arena like I've been doing. Second place will get a Key of Ignorance, a Chapter Pendant, and a Dark Hood, one of each. These are needed to get the character up to Silver 1. For third place, you'll be getting a Sanctified Bolt Pistol and 100 salvage to help you level that item up, or any other item of your choice. And that's it. Leave a comment below and I'll announce the winners on the 20th. Finally, if you find the content that I make helpful, please consider using my friend code, as it really does help me out. And if you or your guild are looking for a new home, please reach out to any of the guilds shown and we'll welcome you into our midst. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the battlefield.